Hello everyone, today's topic is creating barrier-free environment within and outside the school. Now you will ask, what is barrier-free environment? So barrier-free environment enables people with disabilities to move about safely and freely and use the facilities within the built environment. The goal of barrier-free design is to provide an environment that supports an independent functioning of individuals so that they can participate without assistance in everyday activities. Therefore, to the maximum extent possible, buildings, places, transportation systems for public use will be made barrier-free. Objectives. The primary objective is to frame guidelines for non-ambulant, semi-ambulant and disabled persons. This construction is maintenance standard should be followed in all categories of buildings and facilities used by the public for making accessible and functional for physical disabled persons. Barrier-free education continues to remain a distant dream for thousands of physically challenged students despite communication rules and guidelines framed from time to time. Barrier-free environment for disabled students should include ramp, lift and washroom facilities to accommodate wheelchairs, the code specially said. So first we look at arrangement that can be made within schools. Like mobility devices, it includes adequate space for persons using mobility devices. Adequate space should be allocated for persons using mobility devices, for example, wheelchairs, crutches and walkers, as well as those walking with the assistance of other persons. And ramp. The ramp shall be finished with non-slip material to enter the building. The minimum width or ramp shall be 1800 millimeter. Entrance or exit. Every school building should have at least one entrance accessible to the persons with disabilities and shall be indicated by proper signage. This entrance shall be approached through a ramp together with the stepped entry. Minimum clear opening of the entrance door shall be 900 millimeter and it shall not be provided with the step that obstructs the passage of a wheelchair user. Threshold shall not be raised more than 12 millimeter. Corridor. The corridor connecting the entrance and exit for persons with disabilities leading directly outdoors to a place where information concerning the overall use of the specified building can be provided to person with visual impairment either by a person or by signs shall be provided. Avoid carpeting. If the carpet is used, it should be fixed firmly. Doors and doorways shall be designed to enable all people, especially wheelchair users, to enter and leave any room. A drop curb is a ramp built on a footpath or pavement to accommodate the change in level towards vehicular areas. Dropped curbs shall be of appropriate design and provided with an adequate visual and tactile warning. Handrails. Handrails provide support for everyone and are specially helpful for persons with a disability and the elderly to use staircases. To pull themselves up inclines, check themselves on declines, and to assist them in moving within the building. A comfortable grip should be there on handrails. It is essential that suitable signs are placed at prominent and required positions inside and outside a building to indicate clearly the exact locations of facilities that are available for use by persons with a disability. Window. A window should have handles, controls at a height that permit use from wheelchairs. A window should have a unobstructed viewing zone for wheelchairs. Curtain or Venetian blind controls should be accessible for wheelchair users. Lifts. Wherever lift is required as per the bylaws, provision of at least one lift shall be made for the wheelchair user with the following gauge dimension of lift recommended for passengers, lift of 13 persons capacity of Bureau of Indian Standards. The lift lobby shall be on inside measurement of 1800 into 1800 millimeter or more. The time of an automatically closing door should be minimum 5 seconds and the closing speed should not exceed 0.25 meter per second. Now we talk about classroom. The size of classroom on a per pupil basis on a school including disabled students should be at least 1/3 larger than in a conventional school. There must be extra space in the classroom for maneuvering wheelchairs, walking with crutches and for storage. All electrical switches should be conveniently located where adjacent door switches should be at the same level as door handles at a height 32 and 42 inches above floor level. Seating arrangement. Where the eating outlet or establishment is provided with fixed seats, the minimum clear space between the seats for a wheelchair user to pass should be 750 millimeter. Where fixed seats are provided, it is advisable to provide empty spaces between the seats to accommodate the wheelchair users. Play area. There should be no difference in level around an approach to a park and park roads. If a level difference is unavoidable, a ramp or a staircase plus a ramp is needed. A level landing should be provided before and after the change in level. Approaches and pathways should be wide enough for wheelchair users. Drainage ditches should not be constructed in park road areas. So now let's go to the outside of the school facilities. The fundamental principles which have been followed in developing standards for various facilities to meet disabled people's standards for safety, convenience and usability. Barrier-free design standards should satisfy anyone who is hampered in his mobility as a result of obstacles put in his way by the design of a building, the choice of hardware and equipment and the arrangement of outside space. So first we look at residential buildings. Essential areas for barrier-free design standards for disabled other than the general building design standards are as follows. Street, shopping area, access to transportation. Before building any apartment, house for the elderly and handicapped, it is advisable to note street conditions, access to transportation, proximity to shopping areas and wheelchair. There are major obstacles between the apartment house and the shopping locations. Both Wheelchair users and elderly handicapped persons have a common need of hard, non-slip, even steep surface. Access to transportation. The important components which are required to take care of easy access to transportation facilities are as belows. Safe crossing facilities for person with wheelchairs and with impaired vision by providing acoustic signals and installing a safety zone on a wide road. Provision of curb ramp at appropriate location at the footpath. Provision of guiding block at the starting and ending of crossing. Accessible bus stop and taxi stand, accessible subway or overbridge. So these are the facilities for within school and outside of the schools. Thank you for listening to me.